I'm going somewhere fun. Can you tell where? Got the shirt, the pineapple earrings. I'm going to Hawaii. Good guess. This feels like Dora the Explorer. Can you tell where I'm going? Hello, adventurers, travelers, and friends, and welcome to Bragworthy Adventures. I'm your host, Rose, and today we're going to be talking about travel hacks. This is a little diversion from our normal Bragworthy adventure planning, but by testing these travel hacks, I'm hoping to find ways to make my eventual Bragworthy adventure perfection. So, we're going to try out some packing hacks, some long flight hacks, and I'm also going to test out some different methods to get over jet lag. 3 different videos, all of them will be in the description below, and for video number 1, the one you're at right here, we're gonna try out some packing hacks. I'd love to bring my packing game to the next level and my fashion game to the next level, so I'm testing out 3 different jewelry hacks, and then there are a couple of hacks to help keep my toiletries clean, safe, and unbroken, and a hack to help me make it possible to bring hats on my travel. At the end, we're gonna rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 in 3 different categories. Number 1 is creativity. We'll see how novel they are. Number 2 is on how convenient they are. Do you have to run out to the store to get stuff for them? Do you have to spend an hour the day before prepping for them? And number 3 is overall effectiveness. Does the hack even work? That's pretty important. So that's the scale, that's how I'll be judging them, but first we gotta give them a try. So let's go! Here is hack number 1. This is how you are supposed to pack your hats if you want to bring them with you, especially soft hats that can easily be bent or misshaped during travel. You start by filling in the portion of the hat your head would go in to keep its shape, and then you fill in all around it to make sure that the edges of the hat are held down and to give it some cushion so that it stays in shape. Okay, let's talk about the hat. Here's my hat. It made its way to Hawaii and back. Still has that bent edge and a crumpled edge here. I don't know. I mean, maybe this hat's just a little too soft, but I felt like putting the clothes inside it and around it was like nice, but definitely didn't improve the shape, and I'm not sure if it protected the shape too much. It's still kind of battered. So let's say creativity, 3. I'd give it a 3 for creativity because, you know, it's not that insanely new of an idea to put something inside and around something to protect it. For convenience, I'd say it's a 10 out of 10. You don't need to get anything, not difficult at all to have what you need to make it happen. And overall effectiveness, just because I can't really tell if it was really that effective or not, I'd give it a 4 or 5. I definitely don't think my hat got much worse, but I just can't even tell. So 4 or 5 for that. This second hack uses saran wrap to help make your liquids more secure, so if the air pressure makes them want to pop, that liquid won't explode all over your luggage or your cosmetics bag. As you can see, you wrap that saran wrap around the base and then you put that cap on over it. For the sealing with the saran wrap hack, I would probably say that this hack did give me a lot of personal comfort. I felt like I trusted that my stuff was not going to explode, and I have had stuff explode before. It's awful. You get there, you try and wash out your cosmetics bag, but what's spilled was soap, and so it's just creating suds, and it's a mess. So it did give me some peace of mind. I think for some short-term trips, this is a great idea. The problem is once you get there and you take the saran wrap off, you don't have saran wrap anymore. Like, you can save that saran wrap, but it's kind of hard. For the scale, for creativity, I would say it's a 7. I didn't think it was like out of this world new, but I've never thought of it. For convenience, I would say if you have saran wrap in your house, it's a 10. If you don't, it goes down. So I'd give it probably a 5 or 6 for convenience, just because You don't always have saran wrap with you, especially when you're a traveler. It's not something that you like keep on hand. And then for overall effectiveness, none of my things exploded, so I think it was really effective. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for keeping your stuff from getting splattered with liquids. Hack 3, cling to bling. It's a cling wrap that we're using here. You kind of lay one portion of cling wrap, put the necklace on, and then I chose sometimes to rip another portion, other times based on the size of the necklace, just to kind of fold it. And then I just rolled it up, and it's supposed to keep your jewelry from getting tangled so that you don't have a mess when you arrive. I said I was going to do 3 different jewelry hacks, but I did 2. That's because I was going to do this cling to bling one, but I was also going to do one where you put part of your necklace through a straw. But right now I'm trying to not use straws. It's kind of an initiative that my mom started, but I did do the cling to bling jewelry method, which uses cling wrap. I've never really had cling wrap before, so I did have to go out and buy some, and it's definitely really sticky. I'll post a little clip right here of me trying to open it. Keep in mind, my 4-year-old niece is the one holding the camera. And I was able to keep that cling wrap and put it back for the way back. But this is another one where I feel like with the saran wrap and the cling wrap one, there's probably just something better, because having to buy little bits of things you have to rip up and use all the time when you're traveling the world, it probably isn't going to be effective. But if you have cling wrap in your house and you're going on a short trip, why not? Put it together, you're safe to go. For creativity, I would give it a 6 or 7. 7 or 8 probably, because I've never thought of using cling wrap in this way, but I don't use cling wrap anyways, so that probably is part of the reason I would have never thought of it. For convenience, I'd give this one a little bit of a lower rating, more like a 4, because I didn't have cling wrap and I don't know that everyone does. I feel like it's much more common to have saran wrap or tinfoil than it is to have cling wrap, so you have to go to a store and get something, and that's a little less convenient than having it with you. And then for overall effectiveness, it worked, so 10 out of 10. I've actually used this one before in my life, but you put fragile items or more precious items in your shoe. Not only does it help save space, it's supposed to also give them a little more protection because of the hard outside of your shoe. As I've said, I've done this before, and I think it's a great idea. I don't think it's that creative, so for creativity, I'd probably give it like a 2. For convenience, 10 out of 10. You always should have a shoe with you. Don't know who's traveling without their shoes, but you should have a shoe that you can tuck it into, unless I guess you're only bringing sandals. And then for overall effectiveness, I think it works. I do think though, depending on the object or the softer hardness of the shoe could change the effectiveness. So I'll give it an 8 just because there's a little too much variable there to just say it works. For hack 5, all those spare buttons you keep from your jackets or shirts, you are supposed to use them apparently to put your earrings in and keep them together and keep yourself from losing one of the pairs. It was a little harder than expected because there's not a lot of room between the 2 buttonholes. So you can see I did get one. Here it is. We got 2 earrings and 1 button, and it did keep them together. But here I am trying with a different larger earring and it would not fit, so I threw the button out and instead used the bag the spare button came in. So some of these hacks I was skeptical about, but this one I thought, interesting, I think this will work. And then I actually started with the larger button that I showed you. It's not gonna work. When you have a button that's this size and an earring that's this size, you can't stick 2 earrings in a button that small. And I don't have a lot of other buttons, and I'm not gonna go buy buttons for this. For creativity, I never have thought of it. I don't think a lot of people would think of it, but maybe that's because they would know it wouldn't work very well. I'll give creativity a 6. For convenience, I have a lot of buttons around my house, but the fact that the buttons have to be big enough to fit your earrings makes this not so convenient, and the fact that your buttons aren't, like most of my shirt buttons, aren't that big, I'd probably give it a 2. And then overall effectiveness is 0. It just didn't really work. Like I said, I ended up using the button bags. Now that's a hack. That's probably much better than the one I actually tried. You might have seen this hack other places. I've definitely seen it online quite a few times, but never seen someone actually do it. You just put a binder clip over your razor to protect your things. I feel like it worked. I don't know, I didn't feel like it was something I worry about all the time. I do worry a little bit about my razor scratching stuff up. Sometimes I'll empty the razor and then bring a little pack of a new one to start when I get there. Travel razors often have that little plastic guard, and I'll just keep that. This will be great for my long-term trip because I won't be able to have a travel razor last that long. Honestly, travel razors don't last very long, and I don't think I'm going to be able to keep the plastic thing even if I have a travel razor. I feel like it'll get lost, but a giant binder clip is a lot harder to lose, and it was very simple and easy. So for creativity, I probably wouldn't have put those 2 and 2 together. I'd give it like a 7. For convenience, it all depends on if you have access to a large binder clip. But because I already had one, it was convenient for me, so I'll give it a 7. And then for overall effectiveness, I feel like it does give me security, peace of mind, and I definitely think there's no way it's coming out of that. It was like a little hard to get on, as you saw, and I don't think it's gonna just pop off. So I'll give it a 10. The purpose of this hack is to keep your makeup from breaking on the plane. I don't know if you've ever opened up your makeup bag when you arrive and there's cracks and it's just powdery, but you take a cotton circle or pad and you just place it above your makeup and then close it, and it'll give it a little extra cushion. Okay, the last hack. I don't really know what to say about this one. I've had my makeup crumble before, but I feel like a lot of the makeup I buy now is already in pretty secure containers. I feel like for creativity, it's a good idea, but I don't know if it's like that inventive, so I'd give it like a 6. For convenience, I'd give it a 10. I have makeup, I have cotton pads. Usually if you have one, you have the other. And for overall effectiveness, I just have a really hard time being able to tell. Maybe if I had 2 pieces of makeup and one cracked and the other one didn't because I had the cotton pad, I would know, but I feel like I'll have to try this one more and more to see. I think my favorites that I will take on my long-term trip are the binder clip and the cling to bling, unless I find a better way for my jewelry to travel. I just think those 2 are ones that make sense for long-term because the item I'm using would be reusable, as well as the shoe. But like I said, the shoes seems pretty normal to me, but of course I'll pack safe things in my shoe or things that need to be safe in my shoe. So those are my thoughts. It was really fun to try these out, really fun to look these up. If you like videos like these, comment below, tell me what other kind of hacks you wanted me to try, or you can comment below and tell me which one of these that you think you want to try and how it goes for you. And as always, bye travelers.